Hello everyone, this is Shubham, and in this video tutorial I am sharing one awesome feature about Microsoft Power Query. But before I proceed, let me tell you that what the query is all about and which is better, either a user use Excel formula to solve this query or the user must learn Power Query and handle these kind of issue in Power Query directly. So the theory is related to about how we can extract dates from text cells, and you can save from the sentences and the dates are located anywhere in the cell. So if you can see this data, so the first sentence states that financial statements dated December 31st, 2018. Now in this particular sentence, the date is at almost right inside of a cell. If we read the next sentence, which says that the deposits on 10/5/2018 were 25 million. Now in this particular sentence, the date is in the middle portion of the sentence. Similarly, if there is one more sentence which says that 01/01/2016 will be observed as a national holiday. Now in this particular sentence, the date is on the very left side of the sentence. Right now, there is a formula a user can build in order to extract the dates from the sentence where they are located anywhere inside the cell, right? And this will definitely take a longer time as compared to the Power Query. And in this particular specific video, my aim is to motivate and make sure that the Excel user should learn the modern Power BI tools available in Microsoft Excel because that's in demand in the industry as well. Definitely, we'll solve this with the help of Excel formulas in the traditional way, but it takes longer time and I will be quickly adding one formula here for the solution. But my main purpose is to guide you above the Power Query that the beginner level users of Excel or the intermediate level of users of Excel can easily learn Power Query, and it will save a lot of time in the form of the challenges you face at your workplace regarding the data transformation. So for example, if I want to extract dates in this kind of a scenario where I have a lot of data available and the dates are not on a specific position, so every time the things are being changing. So let me add a formula here. So let me start with if error, then I will add date value. So as a primary basic Excel user, I hope that you came across all these kind of primarily functions in Excel available. So I am creating a formula here to solve this query. Okay, so after left, I will add the right function and then I will call this cell comma, then len function, again referring to a particular cell, minus find the text is the slash which you can see available in all kinds of dates. Right within cell bracket close -3, then we will close some brackets, okay, then comma, then we will close some more brackets here and then invert comma, okay. So when I press enter, the result is here, and now I will just press Ctrl D shortcut key for copy and paste the result downwards. Now you can see that in sentence date of birth question mark, what is that now? So there is no data available, and definitely there is no data to fetch from this sentence because if there error. So if I don't put if error here, so it will generate an error here, so that now there is no date in the sentence, so it is not generating any kind of error. Now you can see that the length of this particular formula, and if you are very much experienced user of Excel, might be you might be capable of creating these kind of complex formulas at very first attempt, right? But there are a lot of users who will take a lot of time in creating this kind of logic. And I know that at this point of time in this video, there might be a cautions coming into your mind that what is the logic of combining find function, len function, right function, date value function, right? So this is all about how you are going to, with the experience in Excel, with your relative approach of creating complex formulas. But this is not workable for every kind of users, and user wants that a solution where he can save our time and he can do some smart working, right? So if you face a challenge and if you even don't aware about the Power Query, what will you do? You will go to Google and try to find out some of the solutions available on forums in the past years. And you will copy that particular formula and then you will trying to modify, you will try to modify until you get the solution, right? So normally what users does is he or she will go to the YouTube, they will find some appropriate video to solve their challenge, or they will go to Google and then they will spend 30 minutes or 1 hour or later or they need to modify that. So you can see that within 5 minutes of work or within just 2 minutes of work is taking your 1 hour, 2 hours, even more than that at a workplace. So it is better if you don't like to create these kind of complex formulas, and it is definitely a time consuming, not for every user, but most of the users. So my advice is to you that it is the perfect time to learn Power Query in Microsoft Excel. That will help you to clean the data, to transform the data, and to again load the data. And if you want to do more advanced analytics, so you should learn Power Pivot, data analytics, expressions, tags in Microsoft Excel, right? So this is very important. A user to become a modern Excel user rather than going for traditional. Traditional is not wrong, but definitely this is one of the comparison example between what to select. Either we go with the Excel formulas and spend a lot of time in that, or we can go for the modern Power Query or modern BI tools as such as Power BI, right? Okay. Now let's say if I don't want to use this complex formula and I want a quick solution. So let's go and explore Power Query. Now, first I will select this entire data and I will go to the Insert tab and I will convert this normal range data into a table format. So to convert that, either you can press a shortcut key, Control T, or just you can go to Insert and click on the table and make sure that you have checked on a table, etc. So once your data is being converted into a table format, now you have to go to Data tab, and here we have a group that is called Get and Transform Data. So I will click on From Sheet and I will open a new window which is Power Query Editor. Alright, so now we are in the Power Query Editor window, and now here comes some magic and the power of this tool. So we need to basically extract the data from the different locations or the positions from each of the following sentence. So I will click on Add Column tab, and here we have a feature that is called Column from Example. So I will click on that and I will click from Selection here. So a new column at the very right side will be available for you. So just double click on that column, one heading, and you can rename that header. So let me write dates here, and in the first cell, I will double click again and I will write what I need to extract from this first sentence. So I need to manually write the first date, that is 12/31/2018, right? And when I press enter, so now the intelligence of this particular column or the feature, which is column from example, is trying to fetch that, trying to basically read what the user want, but it is still not giving the appropriate result. So every time we need to define some 2 or 3 manual outcomes for this particular column so that it can recognize what actually the user is trying to fetch from the data column. So I will again try to add one more date manually. So I will go for the fourth sentence and I will write 01/01/2016, right? And as soon as I press enter key, now you can see that the transformation and the extraction is being now appropriately coming correctly from this column from example features. So we don't have date here, so it is blank. We have a date here. We also need to correct this as well. So every time you can think with the perspective that if you have a very big data, for example, tens of thousands of column rows and 20,000 of rows. So you need to define some 7 to 8 random manual outcomes for this particular column so that it could recognize the intelligence, what the actually user is trying to fetch from that particular data. right? So now we have got all the dates, and we have not used the traditional formula, and because it is very complex formula which takes a lot of time. Here we are just doing 2 or 3 samples with the data sets, and it is automatically fetching out the dates from the dates data set. So there is no kind of time consuming thing in this Power Query. Once we are done with this, I will just click on OK. And now you can see that your data is coming here. You can also change the format. For example, I don't want this ABC text style. I just want to be a date, right? So I will go on the right side, and I will just go to the Home tab, and I will click on Close and Load. So it will open a new spreadsheet for me with a data set in the transform column. All right, so how easy it was, right? So now, without using any formula, any complex formula, and taking time or going to Google and doing searching for that, we have minimized that time. So this is the power of Power Query, and this is just one example of becoming a good user in Power Query for the data transformation. Now later on, what if my data gets appended? I get the new sentences here, so I will go to sheet and I will copy. I have already created some additional sentences so that I can experiment. So I have copied all those sentences and I will paste just below this last row. And now this table is automatically definitely added in 3 new sentences. Now I will go to transform my data, and here you don't see that additional data has been updated. So for that, you need to just go to Data tab and click on Refresh. That's it. The data has been coming out automatically, and if there is no date in the sentence, there is no date even in the dates column as well, right? So see this. Whatever you do in Power Query, it gets automated. So for the next time, if your data gets append, you don't have to worry about. You just need to go to Data tab and click on Refresh. That's the beauty. So I think with 1 minute, within 2 or 3 minutes, you will be able to create this kind of transformation with your data sets rather than going for traditional way and thinking about the formula and consuming a lot of time. So I hope this clears, and this tells you about a technique which we learn in this video tutorial, that is extracting the data from text located anywhere in the cell. Thank you.